You start to realize kind of how they view coffee and how they want to approach coffee. What are the three things you look for when you're going to make yourself a pour over? The process in which it was fermented. So we're going to look for if it's a washed, if it's a natural, or if it's honey process.
I do like the honey process, but I'm not a big fan of super sweet coffee. It's just not really my thing. So definitely a natural process. And then following that up, I look for more fruity but bitter coffees.
Yeah, so I like to look for where it's from. I really do like to see how it's like. I start to kind of research on the bag what the company kind of stands for, in a sense, because then you start to realize kind of how they view coffee and how they want to approach coffee. So like this, they're looking at the social aspects, the economic and the environmental aspects of everything. So that tells me, like, they even have the recipe on top. This really tells me
that's something that you don't see a whole lot.
You're right. That they're really thinking about the coffee from start to finish, even if they don't have control over it. Like, they're not making this for us in one of their 7 shops, but they're telling us how to replicate their formula. So I've started to look at how companies approach that.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And that tells me probably how good of a quality it is. But yeah, then I look for where it's from. I tend to like the darker bitter ones. I do like the more
I don't know if like
ones.
Darker is the way I would like. I think the reason I like Ethiopian so much because when we talk about bitterness, I consider like a dry finish bitter.
So normally my most favorite is probably a natural Ethiopian.
A natty yerg.
And I've started to not really look at the roast type at all.
I stopped doing that as well. Normally I would say, like, if I had to pick a third thing, like I look for a light to medium.
Yeah, I definitely still look for the light to medium.
So I love Ethiopians, and Sumatrans, not so much fruity, but Sumatrans are very, like, dirty is a good word to use.
Yeah.
Sumatrans are very, very natural, very fungal, bitter, right up my alley. And then finally, I guess you could say variety.
Yeah. So,
but I don't really get too into that, or like the altitude and stuff like that. I don't really get super into that.